Welcome back to the Scribbly Corner. If this is your first time here, my name is Dee. I'm a comic artist and illustrator, and this is like a little series that I like to do where I basically talk about all things art and being a creative. Um, so you probably read the title of the video. You know we're going to be talking about how to make time for our creation as well as mastering our own time. But before I get into the whole video, I do have a couple of like not even a couple, just like a little announcement. So this video is going to be a little bit different from all the other videos that I made. Typically in these videos, I do like an illustration, which you're currently watching, but I did not finish this illustration because my computer just decided to stop working. So I don't have a computer right now. So that's the reason why I'm not going to be finishing the illustration in this video. You will be seeing the process of me like working out the sketch. I didn't finish the sketch though because I wasn't like vibing with it. I talk about it like more in the video. But yeah, I already introduced myself. I'm a comic artist and illustrator, and I have my work down below in the description if you want to see some of my work. But with all that stuff out the way, let's finally get into the video. So it feels like nowadays there's never really enough time. I can't be the only one who felt like the last year just flew by. Like it literally feels like 2020 was a year ago. And it feels like time is moving faster and faster. I don't want to like get into the whole stuff about like the perception of time and how like time like gets faster as you age and da 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 da. Just like this whole like topic of like time and like the seeming lack of it just really made me want to make a video about it. So that's why I'm gonna be sitting down and having a discussion with you guys. So if you're like me, you're probably an artist and you might be like working in the creative field, or even if you're a hobbyist, like regardless, you definitely like understand how time consuming art is. I don't want to say time consuming, but like I like like art takes time. Like like it's not something that can be done in like a matter of minutes. Like it can take up to hours. And it can be hard to make time to create, especially if you have like other responsibilities, whether that be a job or like you're in school or you have a family. I know for me, I spend so much of my time not creating due to school. I'm a full-time college student, and okay, let me just tell you, I'll be like in the trenches during the semester. It is not easy at all. But during my breaks, I work full time, which gives me very little time to actually sit down and create. And I'm basically like those girlies that are like, I got a 6 to 9 after my 9 to 5, except for my 6 to 9 is more like an 8 to 11. So I definitely understand the feeling that you don't have the time to do what you love. And like, what's your true passion? Like, you don't have time to do what you were put on this earth. And I used to say all the time that I didn't have enough time, or I wish I had more time. But I recently changed my mindset, and now I'm okay. I don't want to be like one of those people that are like, you gotta grind, you gotta be part of that Sigma grind stuff, you gotta hustle. But I do want to have like a discussion about the subtle mindset shift that I had recently, and I think that might help other people. So, first, I don't want to lie to you guys. I want to admit that we don't really actually have that much time. I do vividly remember taking a marketing class because I'm like a dual marketing and design major. I remember we were talking about the concept of being time poor. Um, Basically, we live in a society. No, but we do live in a time poor society, which essentially means we don't have enough time. Time is one of the most valuable assets that we have. And while in the context of the class, we were more talking about how, as marketers, we have to make sure that what we're marketing is valuable to our consumers. This is still something that can be very useful for the everyday person to understand because, if you work an hourly job, you're basically selling your time to your boss. And I think this was really part of what my mindset shift was, because it was truly understanding and realizing that we don't have an unlimited amount of time. If we lived in a perfect world where everyone worked only 8 hours and everyone got 8 hours of sleep, we would only have like 8 hours for ourselves. but we don't live in a perfect world. And some people work way longer than that and get way less time and don't even want to start talking about like the commute and like having to make food for yourself and like having to take care of other people. And we are truly living in the late stages of capitalism. And basically, some of us only have 2 hours, maybe even less than that. I would say maybe like half an hour to work on our craft. And as artists, I think the most important tool that we have is planning. And I think believe that planning is so important. I just want to be honest with y'all. I'm someone who really needs to work on planning. I just started getting really better at planning because I started taking my creating more seriously. And I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'll be on that grind. Or I want you guys to feel like you need to be on that grind, especially if you're a hobbyist. But if you are an artist, I do believe that you owe it to yourself to be creative. I remember I saw a post from this dude. I don't remember where it was. It was somewhere on Instagram, and they were basically saying, um, if you were a creative and you're not creating, you're essentially hurting yourself. Essentially, it's that you're a creative person, and being creative is like within your nature. So, not allowing yourself to express yourself is like a form of self sabotage in a way. And I wouldn't add to that even though we do live in like this world where we feel like we have such little time, and I feel like we do need to make the time and like find a way to find, even if it's like 30 minutes a day, to be creative. And that not planning is also a form of self-sabotage or self, I don't want to say self-harm because that's like oof, but like basically you're hurting yourself and you're hurting your creative journey in the process. Okay, so I'm done calling everyone out. I'm also done calling myself out because I'm in the same boat, okay? I am someone who's been trying to find like this magical charm, this magical wand that can help us all find the time to be creative. But what I found that was really helpful for me and that I'm going to share with you guys is realistically deciding what is a priority and what is not. There are some things that are obvious, like you have to do, like if you have a job, you have to go to your job so you don't starve. Or if you have kids or pets, you have to take care of them so they don't starve. Or like if you're in school, like if you're in college, you gotta go to class. You gotta do your schoolwork, especially if like you're in like college, you gotta do that stuff, like these are like your non-negotiables. And then there's other types of non-negotiables as well, like your hygiene, eating, sleeping. Like you know what I mean. Like these are the things like you have to do. Like these are the things that you like really can't change. Like you can try to like make time like in like the break periods in between, like if you have like a lunch break. I mean, not if you have a lunch break, you should always have a lunch break. But like if you have like lunch breaks or like in between classes in school, I just know for me personally, I don't like to do like art stuff in my break times because it be messing up the vibes. Like if I'm at school, I'm in school mode. It be messing up the vibes. I don't know if it's autism, but it just be ruining the vibes, y'all. So using like these blocks of time, you can block out what time that you have, and then you can analyze what other time that you have. For me, I know I spend way too much of my time just doom scrolling. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. My screen time is actually scary. It's terrifying. I think I went into the new year with like 11 hours of screen time or something like that. Like it's terrible. And I like to do this thing. I did like a end of the year 2023 reflection, and I basically was like, yeah, I spend like a lot of time just scrolling on Instagram, looking at all of these amazing artists with their beautiful, trendy, cute OCs, and I'm just like, I wish I could be like them. I wish my art was beloved by others. And I had to do like a little reality check and be like, girl, you barely be posting your art on Instagram. Like, how are people gonna beloved your how are people gonna beloved your OCs if they don't even know who your OCs are? So I realized, instead of doing what I thought was relaxing, like I convinced myself that scrolling on social media was fun. And like, don't get me wrong, like I know that there are the good sides and the bad sides, and I don't want to be like the people that are like social media is ruining your life, but all things in moderation, of course. And I think prioritization And self analysis is a very important way of mastering your own time. You have to ask yourself, if I have 2 to 3 hours of my time doing whatever I want to do, am I spending it on my phone or watching Netflix, talking to my friends? Is this nourishing me? Is this a net positive in my life? And you know what? If it is net positive in your life, good for you. And it's in our society, we're all about hustling, we're all about masking out your hours. But if this is something that's really good for you, then that's good. But if you're like me and you realize that this time that you're spending on Reddit or on Instagram, if they're not productive and you're just scrolling to scroll, then you can spend this time doing something positive. Like for me, it's I can be writing a script on my phone, or I could be like doing some doodles. Because sometimes I just might be tired from the day and all I can do is just do a little doodle. Then that's when you have to decide, okay, I'm not going to be doing what I usually do, which is spend 2 to 3 hours on Instagram, and I'm going to be filling my creative itch. I think the last little like trick I want to leave you guys with is learning how to allocate your days. Especially if you only have like 1 to 2 hours a day, you can't do anything in a day. Like you literally can't. And it's easier to just take things day by day. And I think it's like so funny because I started off this video talking about how I'm only going to be showing the sketch and like not the full finished illustration because of my computer troubles. And that's basically why. Because I to make videos, I basically break everything down from like day to day. So like one day I'm writing a script, the next day I'm actually filming, the next day I'm editing, and da 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 da. And that's basically how I'm able to like make these videos consistently, and I'm also able to avoid burnout more effectively. But of course, I'm still a human being, and some days I just don't feel like drawing, or some days I just don't have like the vibes aren't right for me to draw, and that's okay too. We have to listen to our bodies. We have to listen to what the creative flow is saying. Sometimes you're just gonna be more creative during some days than you are other days. And I know it sucks. It happens to me all the time where I'm like, oh my gosh, this was my day off and I can't draw, and that sucks. And I know it does. And it just happens time to time. And you just gotta that's just how it be. Like that's just part of the creative journey. And we just gotta flow with it. We gotta go with the flow. I'm a very go with the flow type of person, y'all. So if we can just set aside even an hour of our time, like before you go to bed, or maybe if you're a morning person, like when you first wake up to be creative, I think we can really be filling that craving that so many of us have to create. So, yeah. So, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And, like I said before in the beginning, this is a discussion. So, I want to hear you guys in the comments down below. And I want you guys to add what you guys also do to make time to create. I know that a lot of us, we don't really have that much time. I feel like I said time a lot in this video. I feel like I should read the script over that I made for this video and see how many times I said time. But with that being said, I really do want to hear what you guys want to add to this discussion. But that is not your homework. I ain't forget y'all. Y'all still get on a homework assignment at the end of every video. So for your homework, I want to know what time do you guys like to draw the most? My favorite time to draw is at night. I don't know why, but drawing at night just hits different. Like it has a different vibe. Like I always try to draw at like in the morning or like in the afternoon, and it just don't be feeling the same. Like even if I like decide like that day is gonna be like a drawing day, I won't draw until like the sun goes down, and then I'm like tired. I'm not even a night person, by the way. I'm like an afternoon person. My hours are from like not three, sorry. It's from like noon to like 5 p.m. That's like when I'm like the most active and productive, but for whatever reason, I cannot draw at that time. And it is so weird, but I would love to hear what you guys what times do you guys like to draw? I feel like a lot of artists like to draw at night. I don't know, maybe we're just all kind of like recluses, like little raccoons. Oh my god, what are we? Compunclier? Oh my gosh, it's like a word. It's a word. It's called like I can't pronounce it, but it's like compunctular. It's like what cats are, where cats are like really active at night, but they're not nocturnal because they're also active during the day as well. Is that what artists are? maybe. Okay, but yeah, if you guys really like this video and you guys made it all the way to the end of the video and all like the rambly portions, yeah, guys, you guys should like the video. Also subscribe and do your homework. I always check to see if y'all did your homework. But yeah, really give this video some love because I might be needing a new computer. I'll still be making videos. I'll just probably just be like traditional until my computer gets fixed. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say except for follow me on all my social medias. They're going to be down below in the description. And you can check out all my work down there as well. And I hope that I didn't lose everything because this illustration was so cute and I don't want to lose it. But you know what? I'll see you guys in the next video coming out next week. So bye bye.